Okay, so 41 check of my Taser 7. First step, remove the Taser from the obnoxiously complicated holster that tries to mimic my pistol. Have to press ridiculously hard to get it out. Of course, it grips this thing like the hand of God, so I gotta pull it out. Aim it in a safe direction. I don't take the cartridge out because that just makes too much sense. So I press these two little knobs on the side until I see the light indicator. Then I flip it on. But I don't press the trigger. If I press the trigger, I'm going to have an accidental discharge. I don't want to have to do that paperwork. And then I press the two side buttons. Fancy. I hate this thing. Let's get into it. So, we're back. Look, I know today's video is it's a little out of character. All right, it's a little deviation from the things I normally talk about, but I absolutely hate the Taser 7. I hate it so much that I had to do a video on it, and I want to kind of go over a few things that I found that actually make this serviceable. Let's get into all the reasons why I absolutely hate the Taser 7, because there's so many reasons. It's such a terrible device, and I can tell that whoever created it had absolutely no idea what it's like for police officers to have to use this thing. Starting with this big clunk of crap in my hand, the holster. Look at it. I mean, when I first saw it, I'm not gonna lie, I was impressed. It's impressive looking. It kind of models my pistol holster here, right? And I was like, ooh, look at that. This is a step up from the little button latch and release system that they had for the older models. But then you start trying to use it, and you realize that no, they didn't learn their lesson. They didn't learn at all. They just created a more convoluted piece of crap. It rides high on the duty belt. So if you are an external vest user, like myself, it interferes with the opening and closing of this little latch mechanism. All right, the latch mechanism itself is so stiff and ridiculously hard to use when it's on your belt that it makes absolutely no sense. This part that's supposed to hold onto your belt is too big, so the Taser moves like this in the holster when you're trying to access it, which makes smooth draws pretty much impossible. All right, it's a piece of crap. And then we get to the actual Taser itself. And you would think, man, what did my department pay for this? I think they did like a $50 million contract for these new Taser 7s. And yet we struggle to get contract raises. But this isn't that type of video. This isn't that type of video. We are focused on the Taser 7 today. Look at this thing. Look at this. Look how I have to bunch my fingers up on this little stubby little thing that they called the handle. This is supposed to be the grip. It fits in your hand like it's supposed to be a compact or something. But then look at this huge. Look at it. It makes no sense. Why does my pinky just have to float crazily off into the bottom? It makes the draws so unpredictable. So unpredictable. And they don't stop there. All right? The safety, as is, when it's issued, the safety, they make it so stiff, it's almost like they don't ever want you to use it. When it comes, as is, I've tweaked mine, and we're going to get into that later. But as issued, the safety was so hard to flick up with my thumb, that I literally had to use two hands. That is not operating. This is supposed to be a one-handed deployed tool. They make the safety so stiff that you have to use 2 thumbs or you're going to miss the flick. You have to like triple and quadruple flick this thing. It's terrible. Now, I'm not going to lie. There's a whole host of technology that they put into this thing, right? Some of the benefits that I like is like you got two prongs in here so you can take double shots. And there's a whole bunch of technology that they've packed into this thing, which if we actually had access to it, would be okay. It'd be actually kind of cool. Like there's supposed to be this feature where you flick on the taser and you can change which cartridge you use just by flicking your wrist. Like that's pretty dope. But guess what? My department has nerfed the hell out of this thing. We don't have access to that feature. We don't even get issued the little trash can thing on the front anymore that holds extra 2 cartridges. This is all we get. And if you want to change the cartridges or the order that you use them, you got to take it out, pull them apart like the little Lego bits that they are, put it back together the other way and then stick it back in here. All the cool features in this thing have been basically taken off. They've been turned off internally. So why pay $50 million for it then? Because my old Taser XP was working fine. Fine. It was nothing wrong with it. If you're going to say this is a better model, but we don't have access to the features that make it a better model, then why change it out in the first place? Makes no sense. Listen, this is what cops like to do. We like to gripe and complain about anything new and anything that goes against what we're used to. But truthfully, all jokes aside, it just isn't better in my opinion. It just isn't better. And as issued, was not serviceable. Matter of fact, about 2 or 3 days after I was issued this, I had a pit bull charge me. And I tried to gain access to the taser. And guess what? I wasn't able to because this clunk device that they call a holster was sitting here, even though it had keepers on both sides. Was sitting here rocking back and forth, and then this stupid little stiff latch mechanism wouldn't deactivate. So I had to yell at the thing. Luckily, it scared it. Luckily, right? Didn't have to put a round in it. I was like, yo, it sucks. So, let me tell you 2 things. I've made 2 changes to this taser that have made it at least serviceable. I still hate it. I still think it is a complete and utter waste of funds. I really dislike this thing. It's terrible. But I made 2 changes. And those 2 changes have made it at least usable. I at least know I can get to it if I absolutely need to. So what are those 2 changes? Well, first and foremost, guys, it was to the holster. I have since traded out this terrible, I think it's a Safari Land. It's garbage. It comes with the taser. It's garbage. I traded that out, put down my own money. I got this Blackhawk taser holster. Same one that I had for my XP model. I like it. It's better. It's easier. It sits lower on the belt. Has the taser position lower on the belt. And I like it for its simple little finger release. Makes it extremely quick and easy and reliable to put in and take out as you need it. I'm not sponsored by Blackhawk. I'm not affiliated with Blackhawk. There's no discount codes in the description. I'm just telling you what I put on my duty belt to actually make this Taser 7 usable in the field when I would actually need to get to it. All right, what's the second thing I did? Well, so glad you asked. So glad you asked. Remember I told you the thing about not being able to flick the safety with my thumb with one hand? Well, I fixed that. Guess what you get out of that? You get a safety that you can easily operate with just your thumb. Look at that. Smooth like butter. Smooth. So, with those 2 simple things, the Blackhawk thing, it costs a little money. I think they're about $70. I know they're on back order right now if you're trying to buy them directly from Blackhawk or Blackhawk website or its distributors. I managed to find mine brand new on eBay. The dude put like a $10 additional markup on it. But guess what? I paid it because it was worth it. I couldn't use it. I had an incident happen where I needed to get to the taser quickly and I wasn't able to do it as issued. $50 million contract, guys. $50 million contract. And it sucks. And it sucks. At least now, with the changes that I made, I think that it's at least serviceable. That's it. I just had to vent on how much I really, really dislike the Taser 7. If you have the Taser 7 and your department's going to the Taser 7, I highly suggest that you make these 2 changes. It makes it at least serviceable. I'm not saying that it makes it good. I'm not saying it's a good thing, but it helps. It at least lets you be able to use it if you actually need it. Like I said, I know this video is a little deviation from what we normally talk about this channel. But God, this bothered me. It bothered me so much that I have to do all this extra work just to make a tool that my department's issuing me work in real life application. If you enjoyed the video, please like, subscribe, comment, share. Let me know how you guys feel about the Taser 7 if you guys have it. If you don't have it, then hopefully you never get it because it's not good. It's not good. Man. Tune in next week. We'll be right back to the same things that we normally talk about, finances, crypto investments, real estate, health, wellness, the profession, pensions. We're getting back to it. I just had to touch on this, y'all. I had to do it for the profession. All right. It's Xavier CRC. Stay blessed as always. I'll see you guys on the next one. All right. Bye.